All right, let's talk about why you can't lose weight. Let's talk about the macros that you're counting, the workouts you're hitting your protein intake, you're in a calorie deficit, you're lifting 5 times a week, but you're still not losing weight. You probably tried lowering your calories, staying disciplined throughout the week, but it's the weekend. I work 12-hour days, 5 days a week. Just got done doing overtime, worked the week straight. But I stuck to the diet. I showed up to the gym, but it's the weekend. What do? We go to Buffalo Wild Wings, or I don't know where. It's been a while. I haven't gone out in a while. Or maybe we pregame at the house, or we pick something up on the way home. You know, we pick up, I don't know what you guys drink, Keystone, Michelob, Bud Light, bottle of whiskey. I'm not judging you. A bottle of wine. I get it. That's, you know what's stopping you from reaching your physique. You know what's stopping you from reaching your potential. I've been in those shoes. I used to work 12-hour days, back to back to back. 4 on, 3 off, 4 on, 3 off. Back to back to back. I get it, man. I get it. You work those long shifts. You stick to the meal plan. You work out after work or before work. You know, you got a day shift or a night shift. It kind of depends. Night shift, I'm going in. I'm going to work out before. Day shift, I'm going after. But it's the weekend, man. It's Saturday night. I just got done working Saturday. It's Saturday night. You know what I'm finna go do? I used to do this. I would even sacrifice my calories. I wouldn't eat carbs, and I'd cut back on my protein intake if I knew I was gonna go out and drink. I even try to be smart about it and do like vodka waters for a little bit, or shots of tequila, you know, a couple Michelobs just to keep me floating through the night after I took some liquor to the head, just to catch that buzz, to catch that feeling. I get it. But once you consume that alcohol, your body doesn't like process that. It can't digest that properly. You know, you gotta just piss it out, really. Honestly, you just got to get it out of your body, but it takes time to do that. Your body doesn't just eliminate. It has to cycle through your blood. It has to do all kinds of stuff in your body. That's why there's a thing called beer gut or beer bellies, because you just can't digest anything. You got alcohol and food mixed in this big gut. It's just sitting in there, bro. Bad gut health. Like it's why people got like liver problems, because it's just sitting in there killing you. It's poison. But you guys know I'm just a weekend warrior. Friday night, Saturday night, you know, and then I'm back to the grind. Okay, it's been a year later. You're still doing it. You're still struggling. You don't know. You know what it is. What's stopping you, man? Most of us, we got kids. Most of us got people we got to take care of. I get it. You just don't want to take care of yourself. You are stuck mentally. You think life's a high school party on the weekends. Oh, I worked a week. I worked hard. I worked these long hours. Now I got to go get lit on the weekends to just unwind. To go unwind. That's called instant gratification. Technically, if you wait through the week to go drink on the weekends, is that considered instant gratification if you wait? It kind of is. Because you know when you go drink, you know what you're doing. Guys, I'm telling you, the best decision I have ever made for myself in my 20s, I'm 28 years old. I cut back on alcohol. I didn't eliminate it out of my lifestyle. I may have a drink once a month. I may have a drink once every 2 months. It just kind of depends. It just depends. I've got a lot of friends that like to drink. You know, it's just kind of what we do. I used to drink every weekend and get blackout, belligerent drunk. But I still like the effects of alcohol. I like that it numbs my body. I've been an athlete most of my life. I've had my fair shares of injuries, and I do my best as often as I can to lift, stretch, work on my mobility to relieve the pain in my body, to make sure that I don't re-injure myself. I train jujitsu, and every once in a while something might snap, pop, crackle, a rib might get bruised, and a knee might be weak because I have 2 torn meniscus, and you can only do so much without getting surgery and blah blah blah. And every blue moon there's a perfectly good UFC fight card that I am determined to go watch, and having 2 or 3 beers, because I don't drink, and so when I have those 2 or 3 beers, I'm good. I'm coasting. I'm vibing. Drink responsibly. But for the majority of men who are working, well, I can't even say full-time. You're working overtime. For the majority of men who are working overtime, who got kids, who are trying to do the right thing and diet correctly and live correctly, you got one vice majority of the time. It's alcohol, fellas. Just cut it back. What do I do on the weekends, man? I'm building a business. I'm building a side business, a side passion. I try to occupy my time with making myself better, making myself, my family better. And now I'm out here, I'm like, I got a little bit of free time. Let me make some free meal plans and free workouts and give it to all of my coworkers that want to make a change in their life. And like, I'm not pushing it on nobody. It might come off corny when I post it on my social media. I don't care. Nobody can tell me how to live my life. Nobody is above me. Nobody is out here walking like God. Nobody who is better than me and getting better and wanting to get better is going to put me down. They're gonna encourage that type of behavior that I'm putting out. If I'm getting hate from anybody else, it's because they feel like they're beneath me. That's how they feel. And I'm not going to let other people dictate what I do with my life. That's how you should look at life too, guys. I get it, man. I get it. But if you go throughout your life and on these weekends, these are your drinking friends. I promise you. Once you stop going out, once you stop drinking, they're gone. They're nowhere to be found. You're not going to talk to them. You're going to see them every 6-7 months out in the blue, and you're just gonna be awkward and be like, hey, or walk by each other and not even, you know how people get, they don't even. Ran into my old manager at the car dealership. Him and his son just left the gym. That's actually where I'm pulling up right now. I love that. I love it. I love to see these guys out here. Like, it's legit. And he's like, hey, man, I see you doing your thing. I see you getting it on. And he's old school. He's about 50. But he's young at heart, and he's still moving. But he's like, yeah, I still see you getting your stuff on. And I took them, and I was training Scotty and another fellow back when I was working at the dealership. And he's like, yeah, I see what you're doing, man. You took it easy on us. I'm like, yeah, man, I like to punish myself, man. Why am I going easy on myself? I don't want to go easy on myself. I want to push myself. I want to become better. I want to feel my muscles tear and break down. Like, I want to feel what it feels like to really push myself, because even in jiu-jitsu, this is very true in jiu-jitsu. It's like, what kind of person are you when you meet that threshold where you just you're like, I can't go. When you put yourself against another man, a man versus another man, and you gave it all you got, you gave it everything you had, that's when you know what kind of man you are. That's when you know what kind of person you are. It's like, am I going to continue to push through, or am I just going to lay on my back and let him pass my guard? I mean, that's just the reality of it. And so, when I hit the gym, it's like, oh man, I'm not feeling it. Well, I take my time warming up, okay? And I'm not in here for 30 minutes warming up, but I'm like 15, 20 minutes of good warming up, getting some warm-up sets and stretching and mobility work. I'm gonna do what I can to make sure my body is primed to lift as heavy as I can and push myself. Obviously, I'm not gonna injure myself. I'm keeping it in account for form and repetitions and making sure that I lift what I can correctly. But I'm out here trying to push myself every session. I'm a vouch for myself and say I'm a lifetime natty, but eventually, I'm gonna meet that threshold, and it is what it is. However, back to what I was talking about with my blue collar fellas, or even anybody who's working 12 hours, pushing the limit on the clock and doing what they can, but they have that one bias. I want to get back to the subject of what I was talking about. We got Kingfisher County here. These guys are putting in the work. They don't know, but because they're outside of Garfield County, but those guys get a discount on jiu-jitsu. All first responders get a discount at my gym. That could get better. We could all get better. But back to what I was saying. Getting sidetracked here, fellas. We know what it takes. And a lot of guys, it's going to be hard to give up alcohol. But I say this. It's not impossible. And I've got my own story. I've done a lot of embarrassing things in my life because of alcohol. I've ruined a lot of good relationships. I've ruined memories. I've got, you do a lot of stuff. Alcohol just doesn't make things better. Okay. And I understand that it's every once in a while, I haven't had a beer in 4 months. Like, that's an accomplishment. You have a couple beers and you catch a buzz, and you're in a safe environment and you're just relaxing. I get it, man. That's nice. But every weekend spending hundreds of dollars on alcohol, you're paying another man hundreds of dollars to feel some type of way. Ultimately, you're giving the business owner money to feel some type of way, to act a fool, to chase women. Ultimately, why are we going out? We dressing up, looking good, chasing women, drowning our sorrows. That's when you don't have a hold of your life, is when you can't make a change. I don't know. It's funny because you can't hold a gun to someone's head and say, stop drinking. Because eventually they're going to start drinking and they're going to tell you to fucking shoot them. Eventually. That's just how people are. You can sit in a lobby next to the window and the sun can beam on your back. And because you don't want to stand up in the shaded corner, you want to sit down, you're gonna put your back to that heat and just sweat. That's just how people are. They're just built like that. The only thing that we can do are the things our